Okay, people. So today, man, we're doing something a little different. We are talking with David Vazquez Farrus about two of his short form documentaries, Hidden and Glad to Meet You, which are both incredibly fascinating and will be screening at the Houston Underwater Film Festival. So, David, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you very much for having me, Kevin. Thank you very much. Super excited about it.
Yeah, these are fascinating pieces. They really are. And it's like they seem to complement each other because one is this look at the vastness and the other is looking at the micro cosm of the ocean, which
Yeah.
is like, I think you forget about the tiny things because we're used to seeing these huge, big, like whales and sharks and things like that. So then just to know there's these smaller things that are, when we see them, you know what I mean, and they're doing what they do, you're like, that is incredible,
Incredible,
but
right?
also but also very scary, right? You realize how small they are. So it's just like, okay, they can't eat me, but god damn.
That's the fascinating about the ocean, right? And especially about these little tiny creatures, because every time we talk about the ocean, right, as you said, when we have a conversation about the ocean with people, especially with people which is not really in touch with the ocean, right? We all come on our mind the big things, right? Whales, manta rays, sharks, and so on, which are incredible creatures for sure. I
Mm,
love them. I love all about the ocean. But then if we pay attention what is in that big vast ocean, and we pay attention and we look closer, the incredible tiny things like we can find in there is unbelievable. And many people don't know about it.
yeah.
Mostly not many people, even sometimes divers, don't even know about them, and they are actually also really really important to keep the balance in
Mm,
our ecosystem. Not only the sharks and whales, if not these small tiny creatures are really important also.
yeah. I mean, a lot of times we have been opened up to this world from like David Attenborough. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like
yes.
he's work. Like, you know what I mean? I think probably most people for like the ocean, you know what I mean? Like the land, like different parts of the land, the sky, just all aspects of the world have kind of been opened up to us by David Attenborough. And I
The
think
master.
because, yeah, because his voice is so iconic, right?
Yes.
So many, like the BBC worked with him for ages. I think Apple TV commissioned him to do things. I think Netflix commissioned him to do something because it's so like, I think you hear and you automatically like, oh, that's Amber, right? And so we have that, but he can only do so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it's
he
great to
has.
have people like yourself then doing this other thing and giving us this even more personable look into this world.
Yeah, I think like I will not compare myself with David Attenborough for sure. But I think and the word of videographers, photographers, cinematographers, we play a really important role also
Mm,
because I mean there is actually only 1% of the population in the planet that dives.
yeah.
1% of the population like goes diving in the ocean. So the rest of the planet, the rest of the people, the rest of the population, they don't know much about it, right? Because basically we don't live in the ocean. So
Mm,
probably about wildlife on land, people should or know more things about it because well, we live on land also, right? And we live with that creatures around. But when we talk about the ocean, it's really, really unknown, right? Because it's difficult to discover it. It's difficult to investigate it because, I mean, we know actually more things about the universe
Yeah.
than the ocean because there is no way we can reach certain depths to
Mm,
investigate and to know which wildlife is living in there. So I think the ocean is amazing, it's interesting, has a lot of secrets hiding, and actually is the one who keep us alive.
yeah.
And people should know that, right? I always say to people, I've been living 20, now 25 years by the sea. And before I live as well on the city in Barcelona city. So when we are far away from the ocean, people, they don't really realize or they don't think even a minute about what's down there,
Mm.
right? So people like David Attenborough and others, I think they are really important to bring that voice out there and tell the people, guys, we have that beauty down there, and this beauty help us to be alive also on the land.
Well, yeah, it's kind of funny, right? Because there's so much of the world that is so fascinating, right? But you kind of go, if I want to see certain parts of nature, maybe I do a safari,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's simple. All you have to do is make a call and you can do that. But
Yes.
to there's certain things like if you wanted to skydive, right? If you want to scuba, you can't just go, oh, tomorrow I'm going to do this thing. You've got training and prep and all of these things to do. And I think that can prevent people from just going, let me go do this thing.
Yeah.
There's so much wonder to it that
Yeah.
it's like, whoa, what I should do that, right? Because what could I see, right? There's so much there. And what's crazy, the different depths you go, you find different things,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because I remember a
Yes.
few years ago that they developed some new cameras so they could go deeper into, I think it was the Mariana Trench, right? And
Uh-huh.
they found new species
Not
of things.
incredible.
And they're just like,
Incredible.
if we went
Yeah.
lower, what else could we
What else
find?
is there? Yes. That's what I think all the time, every time I go scuba diving. What new what new thing we will see today? You know,
Mm,
because it's actually like that. I've been diving for 20 years of my life, and every time I go scuba diving, I see something new. I see something different, something like amaze me more and more. It's like a never-ending world, actually.
yeah.
So, and we divers are limited actually to go at certain depth, right? For recreational diving, the maximum depth we can go is 40 meters.
Mm,
Then there is the technical diving, which they can go and reach more deeper. Like the world record, I think it's about 350 Egyptian guy, right? So it's a lot already, 350. But until the Meridiana Trench, we cannot get there unless it's with a submarine,
yeah.
right? And not even some submarines can get
No,
there.
because it's too much pressure.
Too
So you
much
can't
pressure.
even get right to the, I don't think they've got to the bottom yet, right?
No,
So
no,
it's
they
like,
did not.
how much further is it going to go? Right?
Yeah, and
You can guesstimate, but how
yeah,
much further does it go? What
that's
else is
crazy,
down
right?
there? Right?
It's
And you
crazy.
think like there's species of things that are extinct now, but are they?
Well,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because we have this evolution, right? When you look at the human species, the closer to the equator, the more melanin we have in our skin, right? For
Mm-hmm.
protection from the sun. And, the further away, the more hair, to keep warm and things like that. So we understand these changes that happen for evolution, for survival. So
Exactly.
in the ocean, there's things that we think are extinct, but did they just migrate lower? Right? That over the years evolved to be able to function at different levels of the ocean, and we just don't know because we can't go there.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, it would be so great to be able to go there and see when you see in the documentaries, right? When they go down there at that depth with submarines, and you see that creatures that they have their own, even they generate their own light,
Yeah.
and they have this strange, crazy looking, and the way
Mhm.
they feeding or surviving in that vast area, which is not even the light reach, it's really, really incredible. I always say it's like an alien wall, the ocean in the end. When you go into it, it's like you are going totally in another dimension. You are going totally in another planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
Well, what's really funny is the fact, like, because James Cameron is a big, because he did the documentary about the trench and all of this, so
Mhm.
he's very fascinated with it, and it's played into his Avatar films, right? Way of Water,
Yeah.
Right, the
Yeah.
Water, and all of this, and you watch it. And you're like, oh, this is crazy. Like, he's all of these imaginary things. And you're like, but that's nothing. Like, when you actually go in the ocean and the things you see in the ocean, you're like, I mean, that's crazier than Avatar. You know what I mean? So
Totally.
it's just like we look at things and think it's sci-fi, we think it's all made up, but
And
there are crazier, more imaginative, more kind of, you know what I mean, just inventive things that exist in our world. We just
totally.
haven't met them yet.
Totally, totally, totally. And this is, for example, a little bit about how that's why I want to produce this little short film about hidden. And that's why it's called hidden,
Mm,
right? Because not even thinking about to go at that depth to find strange creatures, already really shallow waters, as you can see in that little short, there is already creatures that really looks like aliens, right? When you see the
yeah.
little sea slugs, the nudie branches, right? Or you see, for example, this little tiny tiger's rim or the frogfish, right? It
Mm.
was like a frogfish, which is this weird looking, which is a fish like that doesn't even swim. It walks on the seafloor, right? So, this is in shallow water. So imagine what we can find one day, hopefully down there.
Well, yeah. I mean, you are going to mess a lot of people up with hidden. You
I hope
really
so.
are.
That was the.
Because
I.
it's just like, I think people go into the ocean, right? People do all manner of things in the ocean, right? People get a
Yeah,
little,
yeah.
some alcohol, they get a little frisky, get a little crazy, right? You think because it's safe, you're like, oh, well, the creatures are further down. And
Yeah,
now you think, okay, if there's these tiny micro creatures, where are they
it's
going?
incredible.
If I'm going in the ocean all natural, like where's could things be going? Like, how is this gonna be? So it's just like you don't think about it, and now
No,
you've opened up people's eyes and so much
exactly,
to
exactly.
think,
That's actually when my first time when I try scuba diving, right? When we all start scuba diving, what we said in the beginning, we always thinking about to see this turtle, maybe to see the manta ray, maybe to see a shark, if we lucky to see a whale, right? Nobody has in his head like these animals, these creatures, they are existing, right? But
mm,
it happens to me also. But then when I start to get experience, right, and we start to get more confidence in the water also, right? Because it's important as a divers, like we don't damage marine life, and as well, even more as a videographers or photographers, we don't want to damage. We want to show the beauty and the fragility of the ocean, right? So after certain time for me as well was the same. Was like, oh, look at the turtle. Wow, so cool. Oh, look at the shark. But then when you start to understand that there is much more in there,
mm,
then you start to pay attention to the reef. You look closer to the reef. You learn the life on the reef because then actually to find these animals, you really need to understand that where they fit, how they met, uh, how where they like to hide,
yeah,
right? So and then when you start to understand how actually everything is interconnected, and you if you have a closer look, you can see that things. It's like from blind, your eyes becomes open, right? Like it's like I don't see anything, and suddenly I could see all these crazy animals with that colors and shapes, like there is really an alien life, right? So that happens to mostly everyone. In the beginning, we don't really mind, or we don't really even know about it. But then when you start to learn and you start to know, you get hooked. And now
Yeah.
for me, I consider myself more a macro videographer than shooting sharks or more wide angle stuff, which I do
Yeah.
too, and I love it. But man, when I film these strange creatures, and I can see it actually, for example, in my social channels, people love it,
Mm,
right? You put a
mm.
shark, and yeah, people like to see shark too, but when they see that little creature colorful with that shape and or weird behavior, even non-diver is like paying attention to it, and it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
what's that? I didn't even know this exists in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's
Because
it's really amazing.
they are crazy. Like I'm watching Hidden, and well, I mean, firstly, I have to say, I think Cynthia hit me up about your work, which is so fitting because I think even at this moment, Cynthia is diving. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
she loves diving. So
very
this
much.
is just an incredible project for her to be working on. Right. And so she, like, whenever Cynthia hits me, I know it's going to be interesting. Right. So she's like, oh, do you want to like look at these and speak to that? I'm like, of course. Right. But it's just like, so there's two documentaries because usually you only get there's one thing, right? So it's two,
Yeah,
and they're both about underwater, and you're kind of thinking, how are these going to be that different? Like, I mean, they're going to be different, but you're like, I mean,
yeah,
what can I talk about? Is there going to be enough for me to talk about to review these? And you know, what I mean, you're just like, obviously, you're thinking there must be, but you're thinking like, how can I approach this? And just watching both, they're so different, right? Glad
yeah.
to meet you feels like this love letter to the ocean,
It
right?
is.
It's this glimpse, right? This window into the possibility of what the ocean is. I mean, it's dangerous because essentially, I realize after watching these, you are a drug dealer, right? You've given me a free sample. Now you've got me hooked. I'm looking for another fix. I'm
Let's
like,
go
I don't know
diving.
what to do, David. You know what
Let's
I
go
mean?
diving. Come
It's like,
diving with me, man.
God dang
Come diving with me, and that's it. You will see.
it. But like, you know what I mean? Like, we've got this introduction to things, and then with Hidden, we are like, there's, we're glad to meet you. We start above the ocean.
Hmm.
We have this incredible like poem, you know what I mean, that is getting told to us, and we are venturing then beneath and watching and exploring and seeing. But with Hidden, we start off underneath, and it's like we see all of these big things,
Hmm.
like the depths of the ocean, but you don't
Yeah.
even have to go that far for this new micro world. And so you're like, oh my God, this is like this different aspect completely. So they are so different and so engrossing. And it's just like, how the fuck did motherfucker do this shit? Like, how did he find this way in to capture you in these two vastly different ways?
Yeah. Yeah.
So incredible.
Actually, Hidden was actually a little bit, let's say, much easier to produce. I really have really clear in my mind what I want to show to people. That's why it has this title,
Mm,
Hidden, right? The hidden side of the ocean. Glad to meet you was a little bit more actually not that not no, I will not say complicated, but a little bit more difficult to put the storytelling
mm, mm,
because for me was not only it's like I don't want to just show the sharks or the manta rays or the vast wildlife or the big wildlife that lives in the ocean. Basically, the ocean changed my life
Mm.
totally. My life before to get in the ocean, I was living in Spain, working as a bricklayer, partying here, there, doing whatever. No route, no way, no destiny. I was kind of lost in the world. I was traveling around. I was having a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I have a good
Yeah.
life. I love my life, but I didn't have any objective in life until I find out diving.
Mm.
Then diving completely changed my life entirely. And then I
Mm.
became a dive professional and I improved my skills and I work hard to work in different places until I could open actually now my own dive center here in Indonesia. So basically, Glad to Meet You was for me a tribute to the ocean. It
Yeah.
was like a poesy to the ocean, being thankful to the ocean for what it did to me and as well for what does for all of us, which is
Mm.
giving us life, because without ocean we will not exist. So that was a tribute to being thankful and to the ocean. So it was a little bit more tricky at the time to write it down. I was having to squeeze a little bit my brain than, for example, hidden.
But it works, right? Because we have this audio poem and this visual poem that go hand in hand together perfectly. So, like, what came first? Did you find the visual story and then write the words to accompany, or did you write the words and then find the imagery to accompany?
So the story, I have it already in my mind for a long time. I really want to do it. Actually, I'm not that experienced. I'm really a beginner in the world of underwater videography. I started during the pandemic, basically.
Mm.
I never touched a camera in my life. I didn't know anything about how a camera works, right? No idea. But with the pandemic, I could not do much here. So it was like someone give me a GoPro. It was okay. I'm gonna go down to the water. I'm gonna start to film fish, to post it on social media. So like this, maybe when pandemic's over, people will come diving with me. Just like put that.
Yeah.
But then I got really hooked on that. And then I put another camera, a compact camera, and I see what I can do. Then I start following people like they are masters of it, right? And I was like, oh my God, one day I wanna film like these people. So
Mm.
I just start to look YouTube channels and learn how to use a camera, what's the shutter speed, what's an aperture, what's the ISO, because no idea about any of these things. And asking to people, right? So during this time, I was collecting all these images. I was collecting images, but on my head already it came at that time like I should do one video one day giving thanks to the ocean, right? So the story already was on my mind. How to write it down or how to lie it down with images,
Yeah.
no idea how, because I did not know how even to put or lie down a little short movie together. For example, the voice cover, the music, how even do the cuts. It was really, really everything really new for me. Everything was in here, but to put it, to make it real, it was really hard for me. I have to
Yeah.
work a lot, right? So yeah, I would say the story was in here and the images came after, right?
Right.
But then when I set up actually the short, what I did, I lie down first the images, right? And then watching the images with the music, I could write down the story more smoothly and easier.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Now like I have a little bit more experience. Now I do the opposite. Now I learn, no, how I write down the script. Now I did one new one. The last one I did, it's called the Palawan Pledge, right? So I already did one script, what I want to tell, what
Yeah.
I want to say. So I did a little bit of research of the area, what's that pledge in Palau, what's for, what it's protecting, how long has been in place, right? And then when I have the script, actually, it's way easier after to go and lie down everything, because you already know which shots do you need,
Mm.
right? When you just shooting around and you having all these images, then put the story together. It's like, oh my God, I have so many images here, but now I have to create a story and put them together. So now finally I learned and understood, like, I need the script before to go shooting. And it's the workflow, it becomes much easier and
Mm.
faster. It's a thing. It's a thing. So many hours of, oh my God, what am I going to say here?
I know it must be crazy, like going through trying to go, oh, what would fit with this and what would, but man, the shots that you got for Glad to Meet is, uh, oh man, incredible. Like the stingray,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know they were that big. Right, I
Yeah.
knew you could get big ones, but the thing was, so I see it on screen. That's the first thing that hits me. And then you see a smaller one beside it. And then I'm like, oh shit, there's a diver. And then you're like, wait, if the diver is, how big is that then? Right? Because it
Yeah.
puts everything into perspective. And you're like, damn, that thing is
Incredible animals.
huge.
Yeah. Oceanic reef mantas, they can get up to 7 meters.
Oh,
Oceanic reef mantas, either oceanic. The reef mantas, they can get up to 4.4, 4.5 meters, but the oceanic, which we call it the queen of the ocean, it's like, yeah, from fin to fin, it's like 7 meters wide. They are
boy.
majestic and gorgeous. See that creatures swimming along and with that gentle movements and peace. It's something like everybody should experience. As I always
Mm.
say, if people at least for once could get in the ocean, at least for once, we'll probably be more respectful with the ocean,
Oh, of course. Of course.
because we'll understand a little bit more about what's happening in there. And it's
Yeah.
magical. It's something really magical.
Mm. But I think that's the thing though, it's out of sight, out of mind, right? Because whenever you like see like a documentary about, people that live close to the ocean, they're very respectful of it, right? They're very, thoughtful of, not polluting it, taking care of it, all of it, because they know the power of that ocean. They know what it brings to them, how it maintains them with food, with water, with just all this other stuff, because they're close to it. But when you are miles and miles away,
Yeah,
right, you're
true.
getting your water through a tap, you're buying your food in the store. Like you don't think about the source of
Yes,
these
true.
things.
True, but I will disagree with you a little bit here. As you know, I live in Indonesia,
Mm,
right? And here we are surrounded by a sea. Everybody live in an island, and it's really, really polluted.
oh,
So I will say depends of the countries as well, and depends of the education people has, right?
mm, mm,
So people's ways, they have a little bit more access to education, they are more educated and they are close by the ocean, probably they will take care of it and they will be more respectful, because they know, right? They feed from it, and they know if they empty it, they will have no catch for tomorrow,
mm.
right? But then in certain places in the planet, they don't have that concept. They don't have the
Yeah.
education. For example, here we have a big problem with the pollution, with plastic pollution. And you can see even the same fisherman who is out there trying to get the catch of the day or for selling, and you will see him throwing overboard whatever plastic or whatever
Mm,
thing without any problem, huh? Without any problem. So it's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing then after as well to approach to these local people and make them understand, like, look, you are feeding your family because the ocean, right? So why you pollute it?
Yeah.
You know, why you do these things? Why? Well, it's basically education. It's basically education, and it's really difficult to get to them and try to and explain them and make them understand.
Mm.
So yeah, it's really difficult, man, and it's a fight. It's a fight. Like I don't want to say like it's lost because we never lose the hope, right? And we're gonna carry on fighting for the ocean and fighting for our nature because we are destroying it dramatically and really, really fast, actually. Well, it's like, look, talking about David Attenborough, right? You see the last documentary, The Life of David Attenborough, right? In 80 years, we bring, I don't know how much of the population of our species on land and the ocean almost extinct. Only in 80 years.
Yeah.
Only in 80 years because we are the evolution, which I call it the evolution. You know,
Mm.
we live in another way. Now we have a lot of technology. People can move everywhere. You know, you can take a flight and today you are in Indonesia and tomorrow you are in Mexico. Everybody can afford traveling, right? Before it wasn't like that. Even me, I started traveling 25 years ago, and it was not actually many people traveling at the time because
Yeah.
still no internet, not much information. People was afraid to go somewhere because what's gonna happen, right? And
Mm.
David Attenborough showed it really good in his life, right? So we are living humans. We are living in a way really selfish, in a really selfish way, and without thinking what we're gonna left for the future generations at all. You know, so it's getting hard, and it's a fight. Like we need to keep on fighting, but
Yeah.
you know, here politics and people who manage the planet as well, they don't help too much. And well, I'm gonna talk about, you know, the big guy who
Mm.
is now doing all his clown things on the globe. So it's really hard, and especially in these areas, which is remote areas, and governments as well, they don't educate their people so much.
Mm. Yeah. I think it is a multifaceted approach that is needed because there are so many different things that are contributing to, the downfall of the planet, right? We have these big multinational organizations, like companies like BP, Shell, all of these come, they can have leaks, right? Their
Yeah.
refineries can, leak into the ocean, they can leak on land, they get given
Hmm.
fines, but the fines are so minute, they don't hurt the organization. And then a lot of times the organizations just refuse to pay the fine
For sure, because
and
Kevin, my
nothing
friend,
happens.
you know better than me, probably, man. Corruption, you know, this has a
Yeah.
big name and it's called corruption, you know, and all the politics and all governments are involved in all that activities, like, for example, overfishing, illegal overfishing,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
pirates, ghost nets, cutting our jungles.
Hmm.
You know, the same governments get benefit out of it. Even the people who it's telling you when you go to the supermarket and you're gonna buy some fish, or I don't know, let's say a tuna can, they told you, look at the sticker. This has been caught in a friendly
Yeah.
what? Sorry, probably with people which they are kidnapped in boats, you know, with no life, not even getting paid, and
Hmm.
doing illegal, everything totally illegal, right? But the governments are behind of, they are always behind of this. So this is corruption, and that's
Yeah.
the big problem. That's why we cannot make the things better.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. And like organizations have lobbyists that campaign and just so all of these conflicting things. And it's
Yeah,
like crazy because
it's
we
crazy.
know what it's doing. We know the
Yeah,
harm, but
yeah,
still there's not this, you know, focused effort to stop things, to educate people. And it
yeah.
is like down to people like yourselves, advocates for these things, to show like the importance of, the beauty of, like, to try and get people to see these things
Yes.
in the light in which we should be looking and revering them, rather than
Yes.
constantly damaging and harming.
Exactly. Yeah, because in the end, it's possible to do. We can eat fish, we can eat meat, we can do the things, but need to do it in a sustainable way, and it's
Mm.
possible. And money will be there also. I
Oh,
mean,
for sure.
and even probably better and for longer period of time. So what we're gonna leave to our sons and the future for the next generations, what we're gonna leave to them, it's gonna be a planet completely empty, empty of life, in the end, we believe like it's our planet.
Mm.
It's no, it's not. It's the planet. It's for from the animals we took over. We took over them.
Yeah.
Without zero respect, and one day the planet will take it again. Which it's not the first time. It happens
Oh, for
already
sure. Yeah.
5 times. We already have five mega extinctions. So
Mm.
scientists saying like, well, we are heading to that way as well.
Yeah. Well, there's that big volcano under Yellowstone that is kind of due to go, right? Like they've looked at like the times it has gone off, and they're like, it's kind of due, right? So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
we we there are all of these things pointing to, but yeah, for whatever reason, we aren't working to
Yeah.
curb some of the things we're doing. But there is a thing, right? Like we were talking about earlier, about the depths of the ocean and what else could be down there. Like, it'd be fascinating to know, to see, but in a way as well, it's kind of like it might be a good thing we don't know.
Ah,
Because like if we knew, what would we do? We'd be going, oh,
yeah.
let's go and harvest those new fish.
Yeah.
And it's like, imagine if they found like mer people.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
wouldn't
no.
leave them alone. They'd be like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
we could put them in SeaWorld. We could do this. We could do.
True,
So it's just
true.
like,
We already doing it on the moon, no? Look, a few days
yeah.
ago they already put a thing on the going to the moon to do whatever. One day we don't have hotels on the moon, so
Mm.
it's like, yeah, better to not to not reach that depth. Leave it alone. It's like the tribe that lives on the jungle in the Amazon forest, like nobody knows. It's
Mm.
better if we don't find them. Because they will be able to still live the way of they live. As soon we gonna reach them, it's gonna be over. It's gonna
Yeah.
be over for them.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, it's funny because I was listening to an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, and he had someone on that goes into like the Amazon and some of these other forests, and talks to undocumented tribes,
Uh-huh.
right? And there was one where I think someone gave them phones, and so when they went back, they're like, everyone's on their phone now.
Yeah, no,
You
no.
know what
Can
I
you give
mean?
me your
And it's
WhatsApp?
like
Give me your
from,
WhatsApp.
yeah, from a time when, people were just hunting and just doing things in nature and running around and blah, blah, blah. Now they're on their phone looking at porn and just all this other
It's
stuff. And it's
crazy.
just like,
It's crazy.
yeah,
It's really
it's
crazy.
it's a crazy thing that could take
It
away
is.
that focus and that drive and that hunger for things, when you
Yeah.
get caught up in like technology and other things like that at times.
Yeah, we do the opposite, I think. Instead than go and discover for good, we go and discover to damage,
Yeah.
so which I could never understand, right? So learning things from other cultures or countries, it's great. It's
Mm,
amazing, to know all of these things, but for a good thing, to support it,
yeah.
to bring it more alive, you know, like who we are and what we do. But it looks like the human being, we just want to discover to take things away and just kill them and destroy
Mm,
them, you know, just from whatever money, probably,
yeah,
as usual.
yeah,
Sad.
which is just
Yeah. Yeah.
ah terrible, terrible
Yeah.
thing, man.
It's that's why I like to go diving every day, you know, every day, because I try to enjoy all this nature much as I can while we can,
Mm.
because we don't know for how much longer that will be there, right? So now it's like sometimes I said, people ask me, "Are you going diving every day with a camera? And why you're not bored about it? You to film maybe all the same things every day?" It's like, look, I'm filming something like maybe tomorrow may not be there,
Mm.
you know. So I'm documenting. It's not like I'm filming. I'm just documenting because these species of fish, probably in 10 years or in 20 years, it will not exist, it will be extinct. So that's what I do this, that's what I consider it's my job to document it and to show to people like what we have and which probably we will lose and we will not have tomorrow.
Mm.
Unfortunately, it's sad to say, it's
Yeah.
really sad to say, it's really sad words what I'm saying right now, but in the end it's the reality. It's the reality because it's happening and I can see it every single day. I've been diving for 20 years and I could see already the difference 20 years before than now about how we are losing our marine species and our coral reefs are
Mm.
disappearing really, really, really fast, really fast. So yeah, it's time to do something about it, but if we wait more, it's not going to be anything about it anymore.
Yeah.
It's going to be already too late. And some people say already it's too late already to do
Mm.
something already. I don't want to lose the hope,
Yeah,
right?
I
But
don't think it is too late because I remember reading something about the difference people noticed in some things during lockdown, right? So it's you have everyone going to a place and interacting with it and I mean dropping rubbish and just all of these things, but then in this period of time when no one went to these places,
life flourish.
yeah, and so you saw, oh, it doesn't take that much for it to start healing and repairing itself and to, what I mean, get back to a point of growth. So when you think about it like that, it's not too late, right?
Yeah, yeah. Sure. If you think about it like that, Kevin, yeah, it's not too late. But the problem is like we don't stop.
Well, yes, I think
What we
that's
need,
the thing.
we need a pandemic every 2 years. We need to stop the planet every 2 years to be able to let the nature regrow.
Mm,
So, and then what I'm saying, it's when we say it's late, it's not going to be late for nature because when we will not be here anymore, nature will be,
yeah,
we will
yeah, it
carry
will
on.
replenish itself.
It's us. The problem
Yeah.
is going to be the human being will disappear. No problem. Great. I'm waiting for it. I wish I could see it with my eyes. I will celebrate it because nature, for sure, when we will not be here, nature will
Mm,
continue as it did already 5 times.
yeah.
So, but as we carry on in that way, it's impossible to stop. I always like comment with friends. Can you imagine, Kevin, now if we just go back to live like we were living not so long ago, 50 years ago? You think people will be able to live like 50 years ago? Let's say we take off internet now from the planet.
Mm,
What's gonna happen? It's gonna be a chaos.
yeah.
It's gonna it's
Oh,
gonna be the end of the world.
for
So
sure, for sure. But I don't think it's, you know what I mean? I don't think, right? You have to do that, right? I think, you said earlier, right? It's education.
yes,
Think it,
100%.
we need to educate because when you think about, right, even just simple things, when you look at the curriculum in schools, the things they teach you, there's things they don't teach you that are the cornerstones of life, right? They don't teach you communication,
Yeah.
right? So it's then, you know, in later years, then they go, oh, we need to do a campaign, right? We need to do a campaign around consent, right? We need to get people to understand that you should ask if you can touch, if you can do this, if you can do that, if you can blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, at that point, it's kind of too late. You know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
like tell someone at the age of 16, yo, you need to start doing this. They to that point they've been ingrained into a certain mindset. Now obviously you can change it, right?
Yeah.
But it takes a bit more time. But
Of course.
if you started the conversation earlier,
Yeah.
you wouldn't
Right.
have as many problems, right? If you
Yeah.
start a lot of conversations earlier, we
True.
won't have, like, if you did things around culture, right? Because what I find watching films and documentaries from all over the world, you understand that we are so similar to each other. Like, you know what I mean? The things people do, the beliefs, right? Most religions are
Well, it's the same.
technically the same.
Yeah.
Right? There's flood stories in every single religion,
Totally.
right? There are stories of migration in every single religion, right?
Totally.
So we oh my god, sorry about this.
No problem.
I've got it on thingy, but it's still, I don't even know how a call gets through when you have it on do not disturb. But yeah, but we, you know what I mean? If we had something in schools that introduced people to culture and religion and just all of these things, it would help diffuse hatred and mistrust and all of this, right? So just on those level of things, we don't do. So you just think to try and get them to do things about conservation, right? The planet, because again,
Uh-huh.
at that early age, you talked about don't pollute, don't do this. If you eat in this way, you know, if you get food and you grow food and you do
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
like it would be this big thing. It would see this big shift, I feel, in the way people like inhabit the planet, right?
Yeah. Yes, totally agree with that. But then as well, I believe like what they teach on school, it's part of the system. I mean, I think
Well,
they
yeah.
teach us what they want us. They
Yes.
teach us what you need to go that way because then the planet go that way because the money need to carry on. So they
Mm,
teach us that
mm.
way. They don't teach us what need to be done to be living in a better world. They are teaching us to carry on with that bullshit like we are doing already.
Well,
That's the
yeah,
thing.
it's teaching people to become a cog in the machine, right?
Yeah,
Because the way you are taught in school, right, it's not really setting you up for
yeah,
the world, right?
no.
But it is so you know to turn up at a certain time, you know to sit in subordinance to someone else, right? These are
Mm-hmm.
the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a plenty of other things that they could teach you and approaches they could utilize,
Lot.
but they like, no, this is the way that
Yes.
we can then have people become drones in an office, in a factory, in a whatever, 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 right? And it's breaking away from that
Yeah.
that could be so beneficial, but we have all of these organizations, right? We have all
What
of
we
these
said before,
things,
man.
yeah, that are like, no, 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 we can't change.
No,
We can't change the way we're
no.
doing this thing, right? That would be
Yeah.
ridiculous, you
No, if you
know?
change the way we're doing the thing, you touch my wallet,
Yeah.
So no, wait, stop a second, don't.
Mhm,
That's the
mhm.
problem. I always look, when I went to school, I quit school when I was 16 years old, because it wasn't for me, and I
Yeah.
need to help my family because we did not have money. So I need to work to help my family to have our food or whatever. And actually, during all these years at school, I did not learn anything. Now, when I left from home and I left my comfort zone and I start traveling, I was 19 years old. Then it's when my brain expand and
Mm.
I learn. Now I speak four languages. Do you think at school I will learn any of these languages? No way.
Mm.
No way, right? So yeah, this is how it is. They teach us how to carry on and how to be in the system set for years and years and years. So
Yeah.
that's why I said it's difficult. It's like that's why I said it's not late. It's not late. I don't want to think it's late, but the change we need to do, it's a really big change which
Yeah.
cannot be done from one day to the other one. 100% not. It's impossible, right? But there is so many things and really big things that need to be changed. And
Mm.
well, new generations individually are doing it. New generations now as well, they are more aware about nature, pollution, like years ago, maybe like my fathers or my grandma, right? They were not really into it because as well the way of living before was totally different, right? And
Mm.
yeah, as an individuals, now there is a lot of people who want to change the world
Mm.
or do better for the nature and do better for the world. But what
Yeah.
happens? They just put the feet on top of you. Hey, as soon you want to do something, hey, where are you going? No,
Mm.
you're not gonna save anything. You're not gonna do anything. Stay here and shut up.
Mm.
That's the
Yeah.
problem, I think, and I hope I'm wrong. I wish I'm wrong, but
Mm.
that's my
But
opinion about that.
I kind of find those at times, right? You have people, you have like the new generation, and
Yes.
they are like, oh, we're going to campaign against this, we're going to campaign against that, but then they seem to neglect other things, right? Because it's you're complaining about the planet and the things that we're doing on your smartphone,
Yeah.
right?
True.
And the way they mine for the batteries
True. Totally true.
is horrendous, but people don't talk about that aspect of,
Yeah.
like, you're talking about like the planet and saving people and doing this, but you're not talking about the big thing that is creating like
Yes.
the phone that you have,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's
true.
just
We are
yeah.
all part of the problem in the end because we have no choice.
Mm,
In the end, if you don't have this, what you do right now,
yeah.
what you can do, working, communicating, or traveling, yeah, as well. Yeah, I know I'm part of the problem because every time I take a flight, I pollute.
Mm,
Every time I do, I pollute. Oh, it's clear. Yeah, I'm part of it too. But there is no other choice because they've set it up in a way like we need to go through this. So, for example, technology, it's amazing, right? Great technology, it's good. Science, I love science, of course. Knowing about medicines, knowing about now they put the rocket on the moon to great, right? But when the science are used for good, not everybody could have access to things or things like science did.
yeah.
There is things like they are machines, like they can do really bad. Like, for example, now let's say about AI, right? Great. This AI thing, it's amazing. It's an amazing tool, but that should be only for people who does this kind of work, science or this or that specifically, not for anyone
Mm.
having the option to log in here in that little thing and do whatever bullshit on it. You
Well,
know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
yeah, we've seen the crazy videos. Like, I think people, like, the amount of times, like, I might go on, because, it's doing something like this, right? So I'll compile the website. So you're then looking for all the social handles. So you're finding, the Instagram, the Facebook, the X account. So you're going, and when you're on these, right, you see so much craziness, right?
Yeah.
You see people using AI, be like, oh, AI, have this celebrity with no clothes on, right? Have this celebrity, and so people are taking these incredible tools
Yes.
and using them in
Wrongly.
insane ways, right? Because
Yes.
it's funny, I was talking to a friend the other day, right? And it's like, we look at guns, right? So in the States, you have gun violence,
Hmm.
and we don't have it to the same extent in the UK because guns aren't as readily available, right? But
Hmm.
you have a lot of knife violence. But
Okay.
the thing being, right? You look at guns and knives very differently, right?
Yes.
You see a gun, you're like, oh, murder weapon. You see a knife, you're like, I use that to cut my food up.
True.
You know what I mean? You're like, you don't automatically go knife, deadly weapon.
Yeah. True.
You know what I
True.
mean? And I think
True.
it's that thing, right? It's what we do with the thing that
Yes.
makes it an issue. So the
Exactly.
internet can be this incredible
It
thing,
is. It is.
right? To educate and break down barriers
Totally.
like, we wouldn't be talking
Totally.
without the internet. But
It's
now we
great.
can have this fascinating conversation about the ocean and dive and just all of that.
Yeah.
So it is incredible, but you can use it for nefarious means. And I think
Exactly.
that is the thing, and why education is so
So
important,
important.
is it can teach people,
Yeah.
like, do you understand the ramifications of this
Hmm.
action, right? You
Hmm.
think calling someone names online, right? Putting up an AI photo of, of someone doing something that they never actually did. You think it's funny, you think it's hard. Like, there are ramifications to these things.
Yeah. Of course.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yes.
education is so important, but we just
But
don't do it.
yeah. And yeah, it feels that sometimes humans are really difficult to educate. Also,
Yeah.
we are stubborn. We stubborn. I have a dog. I have my dog. It's here. I tell him sit, and he sits. He understands better the things than a fucking human in the end. So in
Mm,
the end, the problem is that the human being, right? The problem it is. Oh my god,
it
how we
is.
became. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
But
Yeah.
what's fascinating though is, like, you said earlier, right, that you were partying, you were, living life in one way, and then you found diving,
Yeah.
which completely changed everything,
Everything.
right? But what was the thing that made you go, why don't I try diving? Like, what was the pull to draw you into that? Because without
Well,
that, David Vasquez Farrus would be completely different, right?
totally different. Totally different. Sometimes when I think about it, I cannot even imagine. Or even my friends when we talk, it's like, man, you remember that time, and now it's like, yeah, it was a big change, a big, 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 crazy change. So what did drive me to go diving? It's basically nature. As I told you before earlier, I start traveling with 19 years old, and basically I start traveling because I want to see the world.
Mm,
I'm from a little village close to Barcelona, and I remember since I was a kid with my father, we were watching always documentaries about animals. My father loves animals, right?
mm,
And
mm.
every documentary they were putting in TV, me and my father, we were watching them, right? So then in some point I want to travel and I want to see the world. I just don't want to be here all my entire life working 8, 10 hours a day, just waiting for the weekend. For the weekend, go to the bar, get drunk, and get high, whatever thing, and then Monday go back to work once again. And the world is so big, and there is so many things like I don't know, like I really need to see them. So
Yeah.
one day I decided to leave home. I went home. I said, "Mom, I'm leaving. And my mom was, what? What are you going? He's like, I'm going to Brazil. He was like, what? To Brazil to do what? He's like, I don't know. He's like, you don't even have money to go. He's like, I will find a way. I have money just for the flight ticket. So I flew with zero money on my pocket. I was maybe like 500 euros at the time on my pocket. And I traveled all Central America for 4 or 5 years. So I met a lot of people on the way. I climbed volcanoes. I've been to jungles. So in some point, I have to dive, you know?
I
So
mean, David, right? The way you say it, it's just like, well, I did all those things. So obviously that led to diving. There are plenty of people I know that have traveled and do not dive, right?
yeah, so in some point, like like do skydiving, climb a volcano, do rafting, do all these things like I want to do before dying. And of course, diving was one of that come on my way. And I have a friend of mine who at the time was already a dive master,
Ah,
and he took me diving, right? And then as soon I put my head on the water, and that was actually back home on the Mediterranean Sea, which there is not much to see in there, but just the feeling to be able to be breathing weightless underwater, it was like to go on space for
yeah.
me. And one of my dreams when I was a kid, even if I didn't like study, I want to be an astronaut. So the people was asking me, what do you want to be when you're going to be old? I want to be an astronaut, right? So the closest thing to be an astronaut is to go diving, I think. you
Yeah.
know
Well,
a little
it's
bit.
kind of like, because it's funny, right? Because you someone that explores space is called an astronaut. There's not an oceanaut,
Yeah.
but it kind of should be
It's the
because
same.
you are exploring this thing.
Exactly. Exactly, man. And it's like Darth Vader, and you have that thing under the water, weightless. It was, oh my God, this is crazy. So at this time, I came out of the water, and this time it was just a try scuba. It was not even a course. It was just to try.
Yeah,
And as soon as I reached the surface, was like, I want to do that in my life.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah, yeah,
this is what I want to do. So then what I did is to get work for 1 year, save much money as I can, flew to Thailand. And in Thailand is where I became a professional diver. So I start my training. I became a dive master. Then I became an instructor, and then building the experience until that gave me the chance to travel around the globe and to not go back to Europe. That was one of the reasons as well when I went through scuba diving full on, because I did want to go barefoot. I don't want to be working 10 hours a day in a factory, in a place where the people is with a shit face all day, not smiling, not happy. That's not my life. I don't care about money. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be any of this shit. I just want to be a fucking hippie and live my life happy in nature. you know. And then from a hippie, I became a diver.
like, why Thailand?
Well, Thailand is because I did not explore the Southeast Asia at that time. I spent some years in
Okay.
Central America, and then I came back to Spain, and then I was like, I don't want to be living in Spain, right? I don't like it. I don't want to. I'm not fitting in that society. It's not for
Mm.
me. And then was like, okay, so next Asia, I never been there. I want to explore the world. So this part, I never been there. And to take your diving courses, actually, Thailand is one of the cheapest places in the world.
Okay.
And I have contacts in Thailand. So that's why I choose at the time to go to Thailand and get my training in there.
Right, right.
And then after 4 years living in an island called Koh Tao, really famous for that, then it was like, okay, now I get the experience. Now I make myself a name, because it was difficult as well to get in the industry when you are no one, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, it's hard. And at that time, I didn't even speak English very well. My English was terrible, right? So it was like, so I need to work a lot. I need to improve my English,
Mm.
learn other languages, be a better diver than anyone, and start to learn about marine life also. At the point, like, I'm not a marine biologist, but I don't have the PhD,
Mm,
but sometimes marine biologists call me to tell me, David, do you recognize this noddy range?
mm,
Right? So I put all my effort in became better professional diver because was no way back for me to Europe to work in a shit factory for shit money and shit life. So was no way. So that I worked so hard, more than anyone to make it. And well, thanks God or thanks for whatever, it happens. I think dreams when you work hard and you really want them happens. If you go for them earlier or later, it happens. But
mm.
you need to carry on.
Yeah. Or, I mean, at least you're doing everything you can to put yourself into the right situation. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? It's just like there's people that go, oh, I want to do this, but then do nothing to try and make that thing happen.
Yes.
So if
Yeah.
you throw yourself into it, if you do everything you can, it might not work out, right? But you did everything to try and make it work
Exactly.
out. You won't
Exactly.
be going, well, I could have done.
Yes.
Maybe if I had done this. No, you tried everything. You did everything. You gave your all for this thing. And I think
Sure.
even if it doesn't work, you
It's worth
still
it to try it.
gain from the experience because you would have picked up new skills, new viewpoints, new things, which will then open up something else. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
That's what I comment with so many clients or travelers, right? Like when they ask me, "Oh, how you get here? How you change your life like this?" It's like, look, this is how I did it. And it's like, oh, but my work and and then my car and I need to sell my apartment or I need to rent it out. Or it's like, hey, you always can come back. Now, after 25 years, I can come back in Spain in my mom's place, and it's gonna be exactly the same than 20 years ago.
Mm,
Now I go when I go back home back for holidays. It's a little village. I go to the bar, and I know where it's gonna be this personage sitting
yep,
in this
yep.
table, and it's after 25 years and it's exactly the same. So what's it's worth it to try. I mean, you never try, you never know. So
Mm,
the experience you will have, even if that trip lasts 6 months, it's going to be 6 months. It's better than nothing. You have the experience,
yeah.
right? And going back home, there's always a time to go back home and go back to work in a factory. Tomorrow, if I go back, I just gonna knock few doors and probably I'm gonna get job even faster because I speak English. I've been
Mm,
surrounded with different cultures. I know how to talk to people. So why that fear? The fear for me was to be losing my life, to losing my time. That was my fear. So then every time I did something, that's the way how I am. I go full on. Same with the videography. For example, before to start with the videos, I didn't even have Instagram. I was not that kind of person. I told you I was a hippie. Like, I don't care about all these things, right? Instagram, Facebook, and then whatever. Better than nobody knows anything about me. Better. And then I started with the videography to my partner. I told him, you know what? One day I'm gonna shoot for National Geographic, and now I'm gonna open a national. I am gonna open an Instagram account, and I'm gonna bring it up,
mm,
and it happens. But why? Because I spent hours researching and been trying to be and do things better and learning from others and how I can do that. Okay, let's try. Or I call, hey man, can you help me with that? This and that. Need to fight, need to go on. And well, sometimes you want to drop the towel. But that's the
oh,
easy thing
yeah.
to do. It's the easy thing to do to say, ah, enough. No, we need to go on. We need to go on until it happens. And if it not happens, I will not blame myself to be, oh, I could, as you said, I could try, I could do. No, at least
Mm,
now I try it. What's going to happen? Well, let's see. But always with a positive way and a positive thinking, you know, always.
yeah. No, I think that's what you need to do. You need to, because, you know, there's a load of people that do things, So why should people take notice of you? Right? And they will only take notice when they can see you grinding, right?
Yeah,
When you are constantly throwing yourself into this thing and learning and striving, and then you are finding your USP in it, right?
exactly.
You're not doing things like everyone else. You found your own route in. So then that makes you stand out. And people have been like, yo, have you seen that David cat? Right? Have
Mm,
you seen what he's doing? I ain't seen
mm,
people do it like that before. And so then people see and people take note, and then people start to want to work with you and hit you up. And then you get this thing and you're growing and you're growing and you're growing.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
only get that
yeah,
when you work, when you grind, right? You're not going to get it if you're going, yeah, maybe I'll dive like once every 2 months.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe I'll
no,
do that, right? No,
yeah,
you're not going to evolve
yeah,
doing it like that. You're only
yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah,
evolve when you completely immerse yourself in it. It's like
totally.
trying to go, oh, I want to learn about the ocean. I'm just going to put my face underneath the water. I'll put my face underneath the surface. That will be enough. They ain't going to tell
Wow.
you anything, right? You'll see a few things, but that's it. The
Yeah,
only way
yeah,
you will see it all and learn it all is to fully immerse yourself.
totally.
And that's what
Exactly.
you
It's
did, man.
this is how it is. I tell to my staff, for example, now the young generations as well looks like, or I feel like they are not made like us. We learn on the hard way, and my parents they were like, "You need to work. You need to
Mm,
work. You don't want to study. You need to work. You're gonna work." And we were as well more respectful with work and with actually even with the elders. Now the young generations look like they want to earn money doing nothing, just being an influencer.
yeah,
You know,
I know.
and I have a company, and all of them they come like, well, I want to earn this, this, this. Is like, well, you will have to earn it. You will have to show me
Hmm.
like you can do, right? And dive instructors in that case, it's like, look, a dive instructor, there is millions now in the planet diving instructors. So you throw a rock and it's gonna come up a dive instructor because teach diving, everybody can do it.
Yeah.
Everybody. So there is dive instructors and dive professionals. The dive professionals know how to teach, know how to drive a boat, knows about marine life, know about the currents and tides of the ocean, knows about oceanography, knows about all of this. So
Yeah.
he spent years learning this to be a dive professional, not just a simple dive instructor.
Mm,
So if you just want to be a simple dive instructor, it's okay, but then you're not gonna go further. You're gonna
yeah.
earn this. If you want all of these, like you are suggesting or you are telling, you need to work on it and you need to show
Hmm.
what you did and what you do and how you're working to reach it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's smoke for me. And new generations now, it feels like all I have my stuff like every day. It's like, oh my god, it's how no service. How you talk to people like that? You need to learn how to talk to people, as well. It's like so. Yeah, it's like that. It's an effort and it's time and a lot of headaches and crying and everything. But in the end, I believe that brings you in some place. Maybe not where you were thinking you're gonna be, but somewhere there at least where you will feel
Mm.
satisfied, right?
Well, it it takes you to places you couldn't even fathom,
Yes,
right?
it's
Because,
an adventure.
well, yeah, like, listen, when I've there's for ages, I've enjoyed film, right? Stories. And it was just like I was trying to convince my friends to start a film blog. And so I was reviewing films, putting them up, and then I noticed no one else was doing it. And I'm like, we can't have a film blog if I'm the only one doing this, right? It doesn't, because my view, my vision was, right, that there'd be four of us and we're reviewing loads of different films. And
Uh-huh.
even if we're watching the same film, that's great because
Yes.
it's different perspectives on the
Yes.
thing, right? Because it then, if someone like I might not be the biggest horror fan, but there's some horrors that I find great, right? But one of
Yes,
my other friends is a horror fan, so their perspective of the film is going to be different to mine, and I thought
totally.
that would be great, but then they're not doing it, so I'm just like, all right, fuck it.
I will do it myself.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, how can I make this work on my own? And then I just thought, oh, let me do a podcast. So I was like doing a podcast, but I didn't think I could be talking to divers, like all these directors and writers and actors. I was just like, I want to review films, right? I want to talk about films because I love films and
Yeah.
stories. But it's not like I didn't think maybe I could be having a conversation with someone like David Vazquez Farrus. You know what I mean? I
Thank
did
you.
not even think that's a possibility, right? I was like, could I be speaking to the future David Attenborough? I don't know. Of course, you
Yeah.
can't do that. And then you find yourself doing it because
Yeah. And
it's
you
the
enjoy it.
grind, it's the work, it's like enjoying the thing, right?
Yes.
That's a big thing, right?
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
going, if I do this thing, I could make millions, right? That's not the driving force of it.
No.
It's like,
No.
it's
Did it by
so
love, by heart.
fascinating having conversations.
Yes.
That's the driving thing. So I want to be able to learn from these people, talk to these people, engage in the thing that drives them, right? What's the thing that makes David want to dive, wants to explore, wants to evangelate to the peoples, right? That's the thing I find fascinating. So it's just like, you know what I mean? It's the driving force for this,
Yes.
but in
Yes.
that, you get to do this, which
Yeah.
is incredible to me.
Yes. And yeah, and sometimes it can be hard, but as you love it, you don't mind because it
Mm,
came from your heart and really you want it. And it's in the end, it's so much fun, It's like you spend hours and hours in there, but in the end of the day, you feel like great doing it. You
yeah.
feel like so happy about doing that. And that's enough. It's like, for example, now I have these two films on the Houston Festival, which I don't even expect that they will be there. And I don't even have the expectations to win. I don't even think about that. I don't even think about it's a competition. For
Mm,
me, it's like, it made it there. People will watch it. It's already a win for me. You know?
mm.
That's it. And I did it with all my love. And I'm super happy. Like people will be watching 3 minutes and a half of my movie, of my short film. That for me, it's already a win. That's it.
It's
That's it.
it's crazy though, right? It's so crazy because they are, this is the thing, they're like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, right? They're
Yeah.
not, they're under 5 minutes. And even when you're watching a short film, right, that's about 15 minutes, you think, man, how did they fit this story
Oh,
into this
man.
short space of time? So when I saw the time of these of these
I
documentaries,
know.
I was like, wait, how the fuck could anything be told in this amount of time? This is like, Cynthia, you pranking me. What is happening here? You know what I mean? But there is so much that you convey in these things.
for
It
for
is
me,
so compelling.
for me now it's a point I reached that point to like I'm thinking like how I can make one more than 20 minutes. Because already for to do 3 minutes and something, it took me a lot of time and work, right? So then when I see, for example, I don't know, these movies, Avatar or The Lord of the Rings or any of these crazy movies, like they last hours, it's like, what the heck? Harry Potter, It's like, how, how these guys are crazy. How they can manage to set up a film of 3 hours, man. three
Yeah.
hours in one film, then it's like four more coming, It's like so crazy. So crazy. So crazy.
Oh man.
Then you see like 3 minutes and a half, it's nothing. It's like, it's just nothing. It's like, oh my God, it's just nothing. 3 minutes
Mm.
and a half. But
Yeah,
anyway, a great
but
one.
yeah, so Glad to Meet You is having its world premiere, and Hidden is having its North American premiere at the festival, which is huge.
Yeah, yeah, as I said, I didn't even expect, and especially two,
Mm,
because normally in that festivals, normally they just, if you present several projects, they will take only one
yeah.
normally. And I present two just, well, because I was having that only that two, now I have more. But it was okay, just gonna put that once and see how it works. And then when I find out it was like they sent me the email telling like both of them were into the festival and selected to be screened on the festival, I was like, wow, I could not believe it. I was like really happy because I know they normally don't take two films from
Mm.
one artist in one festival. So it was like really honored and I was really happy. That's why I said for me it's already a win to have two films, two shorts in the Houston Festival.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Because they are so different,
Yes,
both
yes,
about the
totally.
ocean, but so different. So
Yeah.
it's like it makes sense to take them both because one is looking at the micro and the other is like a macro thank you. So it's just like,
Mm.
yeah, it's at both ends of what this is. So it's just like, you know what I mean? I think that shows the strength of you as a storyteller.
I feel like it kind of englobes a little bit what's everything on it in the ocean, no? From going from the small stuff all the way around, right?
Mm,
From the bigger ocean, reducing everything into the tiniest thing in the ocean. So the viewer, who is not even a diver, can relate or can understand a little bit of everything
yeah.
if they watch both of them, right? And that's, yeah, I should put them all together actually, maybe make both in once. And then I will have 6 minutes.
Mm, well, I mean, you could have like an anthology, like a series.
Yeah.
So episode 1 and episode 2, episode 3 could be something else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just it can just become that maybe. Because it
Now
is
I'm now I just finished another one, which I'm really proud of it. I'm really happy because it's for me it's probably the most professional one. Hidden was my first one, the first one I ever did,
uh,
my first short I produced. Glad to Meet You is the second one, and now I have three other more. It's called one. It's called The Secret Dance, which is about manta rays in a night dive, which is really beautiful. But the last one I did, it's more like a documentary. So
right.
it's more talking about conservation, about sharks, and a little bit about everything about the ocean, but it's more like documentary. And I
Mm,
really like that one because it's totally different style about all the other ones I did. And now next month we starting another production with a friend of mine, Luca. And yeah, we're gonna do a not documentary, it's gonna be more a short also, which I probably is gonna be really great. As you know, Bali, it's really religious and with the culture, Balinese culture, and they have some days like they go to the ocean to pray to the gods of the ocean. So
yeah.
now we already make the script about one which is called it's gonna be called the Spirit of the Ocean. So which we're gonna have a free diver dressing like the god, the dog of the ocean of Balinese culture, waking up, showing the beauty of the ocean and reef, and showing like what the humans are taking from the ocean, like draining this spirit until goes almost to death.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So now we are working in that thing.
Mm,
So and yeah, every time it's getting better. It looks
mm,
more professional every time. No, now I'm feeling more satisfied with the last work I did because it looks more well done, more tight, more adjust, more thin,
yeah.
right? Even if you see Glad to Meet You in Hidden, I did second place in another festival and I get disqualified because the sound effects. if if you see the sound effects in some places, I know I never
Ye-
change them. They
no,
are
but I
not.
liked that, right?
Yeah,
Because the thing is, as I said, you watch something like Avatar and you're like, oh, this science fiction
yeah,
is crazy. And it's
yes,
just like, that is nothing compared to what
yes,
actually is in the ocean. So you see these creatures that you couldn't even imagine. And like,
mm,
as the mouth opens, it's kind of like, it
yeah,
makes you think of Darth Vader. It makes you think of this thing.
e-
So the effect works because it's that thing in the mind that is trying to put the sound of what that probably is.
exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly. That's why this time I try to use that effects because I want to give that to the viewer, like weird stuff, right? Because that's
Mm,
what we are watching at the end. So that's why I want to put all that sounds effects. But yeah, from some people like it. I have a really nice people calling me and telling me, "Oh, that was great, amazing, blah blah." And other people they did not like it because they were saying it was too much and it doesn't feel real, right? And one of the judges texted me personally and I told him it's like the point it's what that was my goal to not to
mm.
make it more like like weird, like
Yeah.
fiction thing, because the creatures you see in there they don't even look real,
No,
but
they
they
look
didn't
crazy.
yeah, but the
There
judges
was
did not like it.
yeah, there was like this blackfish,
The
and
frogfish.
yeah, and at first I see there's the mouth is kind of white, and that's the thing that because I've got bad eyesight, right? So the thing that I focus on first is the white thing. And then I'm suddenly noticing, and you're like, oh my god, this thing is huge. And it's crazy. It's even crazier looking than you first think. And
And
so the sound of like the sound effect, because it is this
yeah,
thing that just blows your mind. It's just
yeah,
like, oh my god. And you hear the effect, you're not like, oh, that's what it sounds like. No, that's not what it sounds
yeah,
like, but it's
clear.
putting kind of that contextual like thing
Alien
to
stuff.
bridge the gap in your mind from what the heck to,
Yes, yes,
you know what I mean? Like the
yeah, yeah,
craziness that you see in something like Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, Avatar, right? That's
yes.
what it felt like to me watching that movie.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that because actually that's what I was looking for. Actually, like the people will be like, "Oh my God, this is real or it's not real," you know. But yeah, some people like it, some people not, and yeah, the judges at this festival they did not like it, and
Mm,
yeah, but it was okay, no problem. So for another one, I will be different, and in some point I was thinking to remove or put them a little bit maybe lower, like you cannot hear them too much, just a little bit. But then in the end, it was like, fuck it.
yeah.
No, I'm not gonna change it. It's like that's why I did it, and I want it to be like that. So no, I'm not gonna change it, and I'm gonna present them somewhere else in that way and see what happened. So
Mm.
and here it is.
No, yeah. No, no, yeah. Keep it the way it is. Right? This is the thing. There are things for everyone. Right? If
Yes,
people don't like that, there's other documentaries they
true.
can watch. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
yeah,
That is
true.
like more traditional. So
Yes.
you have that, the rest of us could enjoy this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, yeah. So that was my goal, and in the end, I think I made it. I didn't make it first place on this festival, but who cares? Doesn't matter. I did what I wanted, so that's
Mm,
already for me a good thing. So, and it was selected, and it was second place, so it was great for me. It was
yeah.
a win. It
Yeah,
was a
for
win.
sure, man.
Happy
It's
to.
yeah, when you think, right, as I said, loads of people talk about making things, but never do. And you
Yeah,
have, and you've made
yeah.
things that are fascinating, incredible, this glimpse into this thing that we just see but can't even fathom, like
Hmm.
just a minute portion of what it must contain. So it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, incredible world. In the end, it's like
Mm,
that's the word. Incredible, fascinating, crazy, underwater world.
yeah.
Take me down there. Never bring me up anymore, man. I could live there forever. Oh, I'm so happy to hear like you enjoy that one, Kevin. I'm super happy to hear that.
Oh man,
Super.
no, they were great. I'm just like, I'm so pleased Cynthia sent these things through because oh man, it is just wondrous. Just just what, and then just the juxtaposition of both, right? So in glad to meet you. We see all of these big things of life. Like even like the snake. I'd forgotten the snakes
Beautiful.
in the ocean. And then you just see this thing just move it, and you're just like, oh my god, the way that's
Sandalin.
moving, it's insane, right?
And the
And
way they move.
yeah. So we're
Beautiful.
seeing all of this, the hammerhead sharks, which I'm just like, I don't know if I'd want to be that close. You know what I mean? When we're
Yeah.
seeing all of these different things, which is great. And then in hidden, like we are
So-
seeing these tiny things
Totally the opposite.
look even crazier than a lot of these big dangerous the
Totally.
big things that we perceive to be dangerous and everything. We're seeing these little things that look like if they were bigger they would fuck up these big things. You know what
Well,
I mean?
wait, because this is that big thing. These tiny things, they are even more dangerous, many of them, than any shark. There is a, I don't have it, no, it's not in hidden, but there is an octopus, it's called blue ring octopus, which is the size of, doesn't grow more than 4 or 5 centimeters.
Yo.
One bite of this octopus can kill up to 50 people. And
Wow.
it's that tiny octopus, like this, not even, not more, not bigger than 5 centimeters, and it could kill in one bite more than 50 people in less than a minute.
Oh
So,
my.
and you people staring at shark is like, oh my god, the shark is gonna kill me. No, be careful. And then I see videos on social media, people putting their hands in that octopus because sometimes they're really close to the shore, playing with the octopus. Oh, look at the octopus, and it's like you don't know where are you putting your finger, my friend. You
Oh my god.
know.
Oh my
And then
god.
people believe about sharks. No, oh, the sharks, no, the human killers. Actually, it's the opposite, man. The sharks, they don't kill people, right? But it's unfortunately when there is accidents and happens with surfers and stuff. But there is the more smaller stuff in the ocean. It's the most dangerous animals for humans. The
Mm.
smallest ones. It's crazy, also.
Yeah. Well, I know there's that fish in like the Amazon that if there's like some people, you need to go use the toilet, people just
You
go
need to
pee,
pee
and
and
it
it
will
goes inside.
swim up, and you're just like, oh my god, this thing. And you just think when there's parasites and things like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
whew,
yeah. So
oh my
yeah,
days.
in the ocean, it's mostly like that. All
Yeah.
the tiniest things are the most dangerous ones. And the problem also is many of these tiny things, you don't see them, right?
Mm.
And you can actually step on them or put your hand on top of them without realizing because many of them also have a really crazy camouflage.
Oh
Mostly
my
all the
god.
macro stuff, they blend on the coral reefs. That's their technique for hunting,
Mm.
blending on it, and they are opportunists when something pass by, choom,
Yeah.
they get it, right? So you may be right there close to this little tiny octopus and you don't see it. You put your hand on the top and chuck, it bite, and you don't have time to go even to the hospital. Eh?
Ooh,
You die there, ras, done. A shark, at least you can see coming. You have the chance, at least, to try to swim away. At least, at least you're not gonna make it, right? But anyway, at least you can try. At least these tiny things, you don't have a chance. If you mess it up, you mess it up.
oh man, I remember when I was a kid, there was this Australian soap, Home and Away, And I remember, like, there was this one moment where this kid is out swimming, and then they see a shark, and he's out a long way, but he outswims the shark to shore. And at that point, I'm just like, shut the fuck up, man. Nah, there's no way you're out swimming a freaking shark. What are we
Yeah,
doing?
you know, you have no chance, man. If a shark decide to go after you, you just can do whatever. You have no fucking chance to go anywhere, man. Just stay there. It's like, just stay there and be proud of. Be okay. I'm gonna have a death, a really cool one. Like how he died. A shark killed him. Better than heart attack or any shit like that or cancer or whatever. No, he has been killed for a shark. At least he died in a cool way.
Oh
Uh,
my god. Oh,
so
oh,
funny, really funny.
that's always there's I've surfed, and so I can only imagine that feeling when you died, because I know the minute like I got on that surfboard, oh my god. Like when the wave hits you and starts carrying you, and you're like, oh
Man,
my god, like it's just this feeling, and you're just like, I want to do it again and again and again. And even like there's times when you mistime things and you come off the board, and then you're kind of sucked underneath, and you're like, you're trying to,
fuck, man,
like, which is crazy,
it
but
is
that's not enough to make you go, I don't want to do this again, because the adrenaline
the
rush
adrenaline.
from
Yes,
surfing is so addictive.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
god. So I can only imagine what that must be like to dive, because boy, it looks incredible.
For me, diving it's much more relaxed. Look, I surf before, but I don't really enjoy it much because I'm a really lazy. I'm a really lazy guy, And when I have to paddle, you know, and then that wave came and fucking put me back to the shore, and then you don't have time to do nothing, and then you have to go again. I spend more
I
time
know.
paddling to get where the wave. So when I get there, I'm so exhausted. Like it's like I cannot. And then you start to ride the wave, and then you fall, and this wave, whoosh, it was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to have a beer on the beach. I watch the surfers. I film them from the shore. I'm done with that, man. I just rather go diving there. It's like just chilling, down the water. Too much effort. Diving, it's too surfing, it's too much effort.
Oh man, surfing is a workout. It's
It's
such
a
a
really
freaking
workout, man.
workout.
And then you end
Oh
up
my god.
your belly, it's painful, man. I remember last time I came up, everything was painful. It was like I don't surf anymore. That sucks.
Ah, I know. It's the board. It's just hitting you, and the
No,
way you're just like, oh
no,
my
man.
god, what's going
And
on?
and then I see the pro surfers like they swimming easy. They go like this, toot, 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 and
Yeah,
they are already there. And me, I'm
I
not
know.
fucking moving from the place. It's like, what the hell, man? Everybody's passing, and I'm here. I'm fighting with the
Oh,
ocean. There's no way to move a meter. So I was
the
like, just no, give me
yeah,
my gear and give me my scuba gear and throw me in the ocean. That's it. Surfing, it's
the
not for
the
me.
worst is though when you paddled out and then the waves have stopped. And then the current has taken you further, and then you
No,
look
no, no.
up and you realize how far you're out, and you're like, there's no waves.
Yeah,
And you're like,
I just
I'm gonna have
have to
to
paddle back.
paddle back. Fuck. It's so tiring.
Uh, for me, I tried several times. It's like, no, man, surfing is not for me, man. It's like, fuck that shit. It's like so tiring. It's like, you know. And then on top, I know I love sharks, but I know sharks they get confused from
Yeah.
below with the sea turtles or
Yeah.
with the sea lions or
Yep.
seals. So I don't take the chance, man. I like sharks. I don't know they are. I know they're not dangerous, but for surfers, it's another story. So I don't want to be in a surfboard, man, in Australia. That way they have all these massive gray reef, great
Yeah.
white gray reef sharks there. Fuck that, man. No
Mm, mm. Well, that's
diving,
why I only
eye
surf
contact.
Yeah, I only surf in Cornwall because I'm just like, if I was surfing in like Australia or like California or something like that, I can't see for shit. It's hard enough to see the wave coming.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna see the shark until it's
No,
right
no.
on top of me, and then it's a bit too late. I'll be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
hello, shark."
Hello.
Fuck.
No, man. These Australian people, let them there do their thing, man. It's like, no, I just don't, man. I have a friend of mine. He's from Australia. He's a surfer. And he's always telling me, "Hey, man, come over, mate, to surf." It's like, Patrick, fuck off, man. It's like, if I can, I will come to see you how you surf, and I can film how you surf and stuff. And maybe I have a beer on the beach while you're surfing, but not, you don't gonna put me down with a surfboard, man. Fuck that, you know.
Oh my god.
Everybody likes different things in the area, so. You know, then you see that surfers and they are freaks, man. They are all
Mm,
day in the water, you know, like waves and waves. For me, it's the opposite. I'm a freak, but
yeah.
not on the top,
Yeah,
not on the top.
yeah, yeah. Oh man. Oh, so funny.
Ah,
Oh man.
man, that's a
Oh,
nice conversation. Loving it.
yeah, no, this has been great, man. This has really been interesting
I
as
was a
hell.
little bit nervous, I have to say, in the beginning. Kevin, before the 30 minutes before to start the talk, I was, well, let's see how it's going to be, man. You know, I don't know. Cynthia, the other day called me, we need to prepare. It was like, she sent me questions like, look, Cynthia, I just prefer to talk.
Mm,
You're stressing me out. It was like, no, but you need to do that. And it's like, look, Cynthia, let's do something. Instead of send me that questions, why we don't go in a call and you just ask me whatever you want and I will just reply. And we did it like
yeah.
for a trial, right? To try. And it was like, yeah, I think it's gonna work out like that, David. It was like, yeah, I think so, Cynthia. Just don't put me more nervous with your questions, you know, you know, you know. No, because the question, this question is like, just Cynthia, we're gonna chat, and I think it's gonna be all right. But 30 minutes before, I was thinking about her. It was like this bitch. She put me this nervous inside me, you know, with her questions. Now I'm gonna call her. I tell her, your questions was not any of your questions on the talk, man. Cynthia.
Oh man. No, that's the thing. It's just a free flowing conversation. You know what I mean?
That's
Like it's just an exploration of you and your work, right? That's what these things
love
are,
it. It's
because it's
beautiful.
just, you get to watch these things, right? And it is so fascinating. There's always so much things that you can talk about, right? And even with something that's under 5 minutes,
Yeah.
there's so much to talk about. So it's just like, yeah, it's not. I think there's a lot of times people are used to doing shorter things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like a lot of these kind of conversations, they're like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that deep. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of
True.
some surface level things, but I just think if you give people the space, right, you get comfortable and then you
Yeah.
just talk about everything, and that's what's fascinating.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, yeah. Yeah. In the end, the same conversation leads to look. We end up talking about plastic, which is everything involved in the ocean.
mm,
No conservation, pollution, the way we are living, the way we were living years ago. How we gonna live on the next generation? Engloves everything, which is actually connected in the end, in what we love and what we do, and with the ocean in that case. No.
yeah, yeah. So no, this has been great. I'm so pleased we could make this work, and yeah, I'm very fascinated how people are going to respond to your work at half, because it's so fascinating and so different, right? So I think Glad to meet me. Glad to meet you is screening Saturday the 11th of April,
Yes.
and um Hidden is Sunday the 12th of April.
Yeah, this weekend, next
Yeah.
weekend. Mm. Yeah, I would love to be there, man. Actually, I would love to be there to see the reaction of people, right? That's in the end when we do things like that, that's what we want. It's not
Mm,
even about the word, a word or not a word. It's like to see the faces of people and reaction when they just finish to watch something like that, right? That's what we do it. And unfortunately, I will not be able to be there. But anyway, I will try to find a way. I will contact actually the festival if there isn't a way that they are doing a live screening in some way in internet or I don't know. I will figure it out. But yeah, I would like to see the
mm.
reaction of
Yeah, I
people
mean,
after that.
even if they just set up some cameras and sent
Yeah.
you like the recording afterwards, but I'm sure they could set something up and stream it.
Yeah, in the ADEX festival in Singapore, they did. They did it. They filmed everything, and they were like doing live, one phone here, one phone there in
Mm,
Instagram, and they were doing every movie was playing. They were screening live in
mm,
Instagram, and it was great because I could not go either because I'm always quite busy, and that was fantastic, because in the end. You are in kind of in the festival at this moment,
yeah.
right? And you feel the people, you see the whoa, oh wow, right? And that's what you want in the end, to
Mm,
see the reaction of these people, like if they like it or they don't like it, or and that's what makes you feel like you want to carry on and you want
yeah.
to carry filming and you want to carry producing and doing new things, no?
Mm,
More
mm.
than the words and whatever it is behind.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm
So
I'm
yeah.
sure everyone is going to find these incredibly fascinating. Do you have any other festival dates lined up here?
I present the new one, the Palawan Pledge, in several festivals now for that year, 2026. But they are more all of them by the end of the year. They
Right,
are
right.
all in selection. They didn't went to the process of selection yet. They are there. They didn't send any email. Didn't say anything. So yeah, let's see. Hopefully, something else is gonna happen. And if not, well, we're gonna keep on working, filming, and yeah, showing people the beauty and the fragility and how we need to protect our ocean. So
Mm,
whatever happens, festivals, no festivals, whatever, I will carry on doing what I love to do in the end because I love to do it.
incredible, man. How can
That's it.
people keep track of everything that you're firstly, how can people keep track of everything you're doing online, and how could they possibly dive with you in real life?
Well, I'm using a lot of Instagram for sure. Right now, it's a social media thing. I post daily, well, not daily, every 2 3 days. I post an animal behaving, doing something, eating, hunting. And then I like to do biology posts talking about it, why it hunts that way, or why that animal has this camouflage, or why they living in that coral, or why whatever, right? Not
Mm,
just a video of a fish like
yeah.
randomly because it doesn't say much, right? And I post daily every few days in Instagram, and then I have my YouTube channel where I post also. And then I have my own dive center here in Nusa Penida in Bali. And I have a lot of people coming diving with me. Lots. Now my social media is kind of growing now. It's going up. And many people is contacting and many people want to come to take not only diving classes because I don't teach people diving anymore. I get retired 5 years ago when I decided to step on the underwater videography and be more
Yeah.
focused in filming than teaching people diving. But I do courses about color grading, color correction, and
Uh-huh.
underwater filming. So some people come, even beginners, like they come with a GoPro, whatever camera they have, and I teach them how to get better with the tools they have, how to get better with their own videos, like they can post as well in the
Mm.
social media and enjoy, and as well motivating them to carry on and improve their skills and to travel and to keep on diving and to share the love for the ocean, because when more people will do this, more videos are online, more
Mm.
people will see and will understand and will hear what we have to say, right? Because
Yeah.
some people as well is like, ah, but I don't want to post my stuff because it's not good. It's like, look, doesn't matter, I mean, just keep on going, learn. You like to do it, that takes you diving. And even if the images are not excellent, my images, they were not excellent, and many times they are not excellent. Many times I go diving and I come back with my hands empty, because we work in the ocean. One day there's no visibility,
Mm.
one day there is no sun, one day is strong current, one day the animals are not there, right? It's wildlife, so it's an environment like you cannot control at
Yeah.
all, right? It's not you working in a studio and you can put the lighting perfectly. Look, we're gonna put the light here and the lights there and this and that. In the ocean, it's all random, so you never know what's going to happen. The conditions can change as well in a minute. You can
Mm.
have a great conditions, especially here in Indonesia. We have really strong currents. So you can start your dive with nice conditions, and suddenly the currents start like a river. So, and you are shooting macro with the lenses 90 millimeters, like a little shake, the image, it's gone.
Yeah.
You don't get
Yeah.
anything, right? But part of my work as well is that encourage people to carry on, not to
Mm.
drop it, not to drop it. It's like, my videos are shit. Come on, we all been through that. We all learn. We know nobody is born already with the skills to know everything, right? So some people have more attitudes and have this done, like they know already. I don't know how to frame, even if they never get a camera, right? They already have that natural thing in them, like they know how to frame it, the fish, or frame
Yeah.
whatever, right? But then they are more, they don't know how to color grade, or they don't know much about marine life. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Just carry on. And I like to encourage people to do it and to post and to share with people for the ocean, for the
Mm.
ocean. And I tell them, in the end, it's not even for ourselves. We do it for the ocean. We do it to make people understand, like, ocean is important for all of us,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, man.
That's it.
The more people see these different things, the more they get, you know what I mean, just wrapped up in the wonder, and then they'll want to, protect it, preserve it, respect it.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the matter, the quality of video. You're gonna get better later. No worries. Just when I started, I started with a GoPro. You see my videos in the beginning are terrible. Now I
Mm.
watch them. Now I watch them and it's like, oh my God. What is this? Right? Yeah, for sure. We all have that trajectory, step by step. And if you like it, you learn, and things get better. And then when you look behind, you see what you did,
Mm.
and still much more to learn. Yeah, I'm learning every day. Every time I'm learning. Every day I go diving, I learn new things. Or every time I jump on the laptop to color grade, I learn new techniques, because I'm not the best. There's many
Mm.
people out there doing the same I do, and they are really awesome, right? So I look at them and they inspire me, and I try to follow or learn from them, because I want to get better and I want to be
Yeah.
like them one day.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
Like, I think we're constantly learning and evolving. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Just keep
Yes,
doing it,
that's
and
it.
every time it gets better and better and better,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. It's important always when I tell to these guys when they come diving with me, it's important like you enjoy it,
Mm.
because it can be frustrating sometimes. And I've been through this moment also. Like in some point I was I'm not gonna do it anymore. It took me a lot of work and I a lot of hours for nothing, and it's not right. When I was thinking that it's not for nothing, you know, it's not for nothing. It does something, whatever it is, small, big, whatever, it will come. But the important thing is to enjoy it.
Yeah.
At the point you're not enjoying anymore, then it's over. Then probably you need to decide to quit and do something else.
Mm.
So the important thing is to enjoy what you do. And every time you take the camera, whatever camera it is, and you go, you will enjoy the dive. You're gonna enjoy the moment. You're gonna enjoy the people who is diving with you that day on the boat. You're gonna meet new people, which they can teach you new things, or you can teach them new things. So it's all about. It's not only about the shot, it's all about what it takes to go and try to get the shot. Just waking
Mm.
up in the morning, jump on the boat in the morning when the sunrise is coming, and you are on the ocean on the boat, driving to the dive site with people like you never see or you never met before. You share experiences, you share adventures, and then in thought you get that money shot, amazing. But if you didn't get the shot, amazing also, because you
Yeah.
spent a good time and you've been loving this morning. That's the
Mm.
goal. That's the
Yeah.
goal.
And it's also the things you pick up through the conversations and interactions with those others, right? Those kind of things will give you a different perspective that
Totally.
make you go, oh, I never thought about it like that. Or,
Exactly. New
oh,
ideas.
that's an
New.
interesting approach. Maybe I
Yes.
will do that. Or, oh, so you go at that time of the day. I didn't think about, right. And so you're picking up different things.
Exactly. And then you make friends forever, man. I have
Mm,
friends all over the world. Like we met maybe 1 or 2 days, just we have the coincidence to meet in the diving boat, and now we actually have projects together,
mm,
and we do things together, and I get tips or I give them tips. We contact each other. Hey, David, how you did that, man? How you do this? How any place for diving where I can find this animal? And you build a friendship. You know, a
yeah.
friendship, and sometimes even a professional things coming, from people like you never met them before. So it's wonderful, man. It's wonderful.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So in the end, like the ocean make us together. you know, you see in the ocean, all the countries, we are all connected by the ocean. So the
Hmm.
ocean connects people, man, in any manner, in any manner, ocean connects people, and normally very good people. Really full mind people, because
Mm.
people like that likes nature, people like has respect for life, people who have respect for things, and people who want to grow as person. So it's very nice.
Yeah. Well, I think it's so humbling,
Yes.
right? Because like it can take you out in so many different ways, right? There's
Yeah.
so many things in it, right? So
Yes.
it's just like you might think you're the biggest, baddest person around, but you ain't shit in the ocean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you are nothing in there, man. You are nothing in there. Look, like a week ago, I have someone I know, not personally, but through the social channels, a dive instructor here at Next Island. He died on the ocean, right? He was an underwater filmmaker, also underwater photographer. And like me, he dives alone,
Yeah,
because when we go to shooting, you cannot dive with people because you are staring at the animal maybe for 40 minutes. I don't go diving, I go filming, right?
yeah.
So, and when you find something like really take your interest, I just spend the entire dive there taking different angles, different shots, la 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 la. So I dive alone. And my ex-girlfriend, she don't like it. She's like, stop diving alone, man, because one day you will not come back. It's like, well, it's okay, but if that something happens to me, it will be in in a way like I want it. Like my friend, this guy, last week went out for diving with his camera alone, and they find him after 2 hours dead at 12 meters deep,
Uh,
right? Which is sad, yeah, for sure. But if I could talk to him, he will tell me, I was doing what I like. So,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that will be my answer. I
Mm.
know it can happen. This is the ocean, it's nature. You never know. It's not on your hands. It's not, you cannot control it. You have skills to read it and to predict. But it's like the one who go and climb the Himalaya, snowstorm comes, heavy winds. Fuck, you don't make a bug. Ocean is the same. But we were doing what we love to do. So I
Mm.
think there is not a better way to die. you know, you know, looking a fucking fish. Filming a fucking tiny thing like that, you die. Still, my my girlfriend's like, you so stupid, man. You're gonna die filming a fucking shrimp, a crustacean, like doesn't even make like doesn't make a centimeter. Like, well, yeah, what you want? We are freaks, so that's what it is.
Oh man.
It is how it is, man. What we can do. What we
Oh,
can do.
hey, but you are definitely leaving a mark on the world with your work, man. So just keep doing it.
I
Keep
will
doing
definitely, Kevin. I will
it.
not
This
stop it.
is so great. So
I
great.
will
And
not stop.
hopefully, like maybe we have another conversation about the Plagan Pledge, maybe,
Anytime,
on one of
anytime. It
your
will be
next.
my pleasure. Anytime, anytime. If you want to look at it, it's in my YouTube channel, so you can have a look and enjoy it if you want. It's
Outstanding.
already on. It's already online.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll have another conversation about that one
Amazing,
because that does
Kevin.
sound fascinating. I am looking forward to checking that out.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you very much.
No worries, man. Well, thank you so much again for your time. I really appreciate it. Um, both of these hidden, glad to meet you. Incredible pieces of work. I'm just fascinated with your approach and what you're doing. So yeah, just keep doing it, man. Keep telling your story. Keep, what I
Promise.
mean, shining the light on the ocean because the more people see this, the more people understand. As I say, they're gonna respect it. They're going to love it. They're gonna try and preserve it. So hey,
That's the goal. That's the goal. And yeah, we're gonna carry on. We're gonna carry on. We'll not stop. I give you my promise, Kevin. Like I will not stop.
outstanding, man. Outstanding. Okay, so people, if you want to follow everything David does, all the links will be on the webpage for this episode. If you are in Houston, get down to Half, man. Get down to Half on the 11th and 12th and watch these incredible pieces of work. If you can't, follow David on the socials and you'll be able to see where you'll be able to watch them. But yeah, do that. Have this in your life. It's important and it's just incredible to see. Just, that alone. So, yeah, people, make sure you do it. David, thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you so much for your time, for your kindness, and for this lovely chat. I really enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Oh,
And
it's
see
been
you next
great, man.
time.
It's been great. Yeah. Until next time, man. Until
Bye
next time.
bye.
Peace.